your question if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering anytime. You also have the right to stop answering anytime.
It was the first time Richard Allen, a 50-year-old pharmacy clerk with no criminal record, had sat before investigators as the prime suspect in a horrific small-town double murder. In February 2017, two girls went for a walk in the woods of Delphi and never returned. All that remained was a strange video and a haunting whisper, "Down the hill." 5 years later, the nation was shocked when Richard Allen, who lived just blocks from the crime scene, was arrested. But what makes this case so special is the mysterious confession, the unusual change in mentality, and the chillingly cold behavior in the interrogation room. So what really happened in the woods that day? Who was Richard Allen, a victim of pressure or a cold-blooded man hiding behind a normal appearance? Delphi, a small town of just over 3,000 people in Indiana, where everyone knows each other, every look is friendly. Richard Matthew Allen, born 1972, was a pharmacy technician at the local CVS for nearly 15 years. Married, has a daughter, no criminal record. Neighbors described him as friendly, quiet, and never caused trouble.
I've talked to him dozens of times, nothing suspicious.
But after the arrest, people began to recall strange pieces. A man who rarely smiled, often avoided eye contact, once said something creepy to a customer.
I remember I was talking about the case of the two girls, and he whispered, "People will be shocked to know who did it."
The small word, the cold expressions, no one noticed at the time. But when the case was closed, it all came back to the same point. Richard Allen, the most normal man in town. February 13, 2017, a beautiful afternoon in the town of Delphi. Two girls, Libby German, 14, and Abigail Abby Williams, 13, were being driven to the Manon High Bridge trailhead by Libby's mother. Libby loves taking videos. She turned on her phone camera as soon as they stepped onto the iconic wooden bridge. Little did she know that it would capture the last moments of their lives. 4 hours later, no one had heard from the girls. The family began to worry. The search began that night and the next morning. Abby and Libby's bodies were found about 400 meters from the bridge, near the banks of Deer Creek. No details were given, only that the scene was haunting. The only clue, a 43-second video clip and a phrase, "Down the hill." When the clip was released, the whole country was shocked. A national manhunt began. More than 70,000 leads were submitted. More than 1,000 people were questioned. But 5 years later, no one has been arrested.
Good, Richard. Thank you. I don't know if I gave you one of my cards. There it is. I think you did. I probably set it down. It's right there. Back to the park there was a trail until they got the whole thing done. I just remember walking down the trail. There was 3 girls walking off the trail, babysitting, but watching the other two because they looked a little younger. And they looked very similar. I don't know if they were sisters or whatever, but the other one didn't necessarily.
From the very first sentence, Allen confirmed that he was present at the crime scene, something that hundreds of previous suspects had denied.
Oh, the other thing is, any of these knives or the gun, did you have that the day that you recall having that with you on the day of the 13th when you were out there on the bridge? is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only. Okay. So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it matched with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round match your gun.
Perfect.
How did that round get there, Rick?
I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round. There is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
At this point, Alan began to show signs of confusion. He was moving his hands uncontrollably, a sign of acute stress. He used distancing language, calling the girls the bridge girls instead of their names. A psychological sign often seen in criminals who do not want to face the consequences.
And if you don't tell me, you're going down for this.
Okay.
I'm serious. This isn't a joking matter.
I'm not joking.
You're this
Do you
close.
realize what you've done to me?
This is the first psychological turning point. The inappropriate smile, a common reaction of people who feel oppressed, trying to hide the truth with an attitude of indifference.
It's not tough, it's bullshit.
There was no need for a confession then. His body said it all. Richard Allen didn't scream. He didn't rage. Instead, he trembled, he floundered, he smiled awkwardly. To behavioral experts, that was much more dangerous.
There is no way a round from my gun was anywhere near the girls, the bridge. It just didn't happen.
Throughout the interrogation, Allen kept referring to the victims as those girls, instead of Libby and Abby. This is a typical psychological sign. The offender unconsciously tries to distance himself from the victim, as if to deny responsibility.
So, the reason we wanted to talk to you is about the Abby Libby case.
From the beginning of the interview, Richard Allen demonstrated great emotional control. No irritability, no resistance, no panic.
That big blue bridge, Freedom Bridge or whatever that goes over the highway. Well, that's the big blue bridge, but before that was there was a...
He maintained eye contact with the investigator, usually a sign of preparedness. But remarkably, his gaze did not waver, nor did it betray any emotion.
They looked watching the other two because they looked a little younger. And they looked very similar. I don't know if they were sisters or whatever, but the other one didn't necessarily...
The answer was quick, brief, and unemotional. Allen didn't question back, didn't hesitate, didn't seem nervous when talking about the victim. Distancing language. Instead of saying Libby and Abby, Allen uses the girls. Psychological expression, detaching oneself from the consequences or specific victims.
Is that they're like fingerprints. They're specific to that gun and that gun only. Okay. So we took your gun, your 40 cal SIG, and we sent it down there to the lab to have it matched with an item that we located on February the 14th when we found the girls.
Okay.
And that item was a 40 caliber Winchester round. We found that at the scene.
Okay.
The extraction marks on that round match your gun.
Perfect. I don't know how the round got there. What I'm telling you is, if that is truly what you're saying it is, it's not my round.
When confronted with physical evidence, a .40 caliber shell casing that matched his gun, Allen did not deny it, but could not offer an explanation either.
The evidence clearly indicates you're involved. So So if you were in my seat and I had you saying you're out there, witnesses saying you're out there at the same time with the girls, and now, after a search warrant of your house, we find a gun, your gun, and you own that gun, right?
I do.
When did you buy it?
Oh my gosh.
No objections, no questions asked, no emotional responses. In behavioral science, silence in the face of a direct question without a rebuttal is considered a sign of high stress or denial. Allen's composure during questioning did not confirm the crime, but with a bullet, a solid confession, and complete emotional safety, the nurses believed they had found the right man. After his arrest, Richard Allen underwent extensive interrogation. Initially, he denied any involvement in the case. However, during his detention, Allen made important confessions.
Honey,
Yeah.
are you there? Are you there?
Yes, babe. Yeah, babe.
What's going on?
I just wanted to apologize to you.
What's going on, sweetheart? Are you
I
not
did
feeling
it.
well? You did
No,
what?
I did it.
What?
I killed Abby and Libby.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't, Darren.
Yes, I did.
Don't say
I
you
don't know
did that.
why.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Darren. You're not feeling well. There's
Mhm.
something wrong. They've messed up your meds or something there.
No, I evidently did it.
With his confession and irrefutable evidence, Richard Allen was sentenced to 130 years in prison, closing a painful chapter in the Delphi case. A man who kept quiet for 5 years suddenly confessed everything within the four walls of a prison cell. Is it a confession or a mind slowly breaking down? Do you believe Richard Allen was the sole culprit in the Delphi case? Or is there someone else out there whose name has yet to be called?